Hey guys, what's going on? This is Andrew here today, and it's been a while since I made a general pickups video, so I figured it would be a good time to finally get back to doing that. So, on top of that, over the past few months, I've built up a little bit more in my collection and felt like it'd be cool to kind of just show off what has been added to that list, other than what's been in Video Games Monthly, because I do a video every month of showcasing that. So, without further ado, guys, let's go into talking about some of the stuff that I've gotten over some time. So I don't really know the exact order that I got these games in because I actually haven't been documenting them. Basically, I kind of deleted most of my social media pages. After all this crazy stuff that's happening in the world, it stresses me out, so I figured a good way to kind of just get away from all of that would be to delete most of my social media pages. The really only two ones that I use are Snapchat and YouTube at this point. I mean, I can see myself going back to the other ones I deleted over time. Just as of right now, I figured I would just step away from all that. So I don't know the order in which I got these games in, so it's just going to kind of be randomized at this point. I do at least know for a fact, though, that the games that I did get the earliest had to be Pokemon Platinum and Diamond. Funny enough, my last video where I showcased my pickups, I showed that I got Pokemon Pearl, so I was just trying to finish the Sinnoh collection on DS for some time, and I think within a week of each other, I got both of these games, because I had a coworker at Gamestop at my old location that put a copy of Diamond on hold for me, because someone traded it in with the original case and the artwork and all that stuff, and even it was a complete copy of Pokemon Diamond, so she knew that was in my alley. I went over there as soon as it was off the trade hold, and I picked the game up right away. So the original case is in a box, because I'm putting a few of those complete DS cases in a box, but this was just in my DS, so I figured I'd just show off the game. I got Pokemon Diamond first, this one was a complete one, and then about a week later, I went and got Pokemon Platinum. So I've gotten into shiny hunting as of recently. I'm not as big into it as you would think. I really only have been trying to shiny hunt the starters at the moment, so I've had no luck with the Turtwig so far. That's the first one I'm grinding for, and I'm actually doing that on all three of these and Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl. So haven't had any luck with that, but I'm hoping that eventually that will work out. And as for the collection, the only Pokemon game that I'm missing on DS is Pokemon White 2, so I have everything else except that game. And as for every other game, I still need to get the Fire Red and Leaf Green games again because I sold them when I was younger. Same with all the other old Pokemon games from before that, besides Emerald, Ruby, and Sapphire. So I still have a lot to go in terms of completing the collection, but honestly, as of right now, I think I'm satisfied with what I have. I don't really need to go and complete those games. I'm kind of not trying to buy as much games as I did before just because I am starting college in Pennsylvania in about 3 months, so I don't want to spend all my money. Pokemon games can tend to get expensive. Major long tangent aside, let's go into some of the other games I got. So next up is actually a gift from my boss at GameStop. I don't exactly remember how he acquired this game or who he got it from, but regardless, he was like, hey, I know you would like this, so have it. So very thankful for him. Have the best boss in the world at GameStop right now. So he gave me Madden 94 on the Genesis. So I have never been a major sports guy, especially on the video game side of things. But when it comes to retro sports games, I've always had a lot of fun with them. I've always been into, especially the ones on the NES, like Tecmo Bowl, Ice Hockey, and then some of the others like NBA Jam on the Genesis, and even some of like the PS2 and original Xbox variants of some sports games that we never see anymore because NBA 2K, Madden, FIFA, and MLB The Show pretty much took over and destroyed every other sports game that was trying to compete. So I always love going back and playing the other games. I don't exactly know how far back this Madden game goes in terms of if it's one of the first or if it is the first. I honestly haven't looked into it, so I'm just going to figure that out when this video is done. But regardless, happy to have another Genesis game in the collection. Thank you to my boss, Andrew. Yes, our names are both Andrew, for getting me this game. I appreciate you a lot. So I don't actually remember how much I paid for this game or even how I got this game, but regardless, this is NBA 2K21 on PS5. So I actually haven't played a NBA game since 2K16, back when that first launched. I liked basketball in middle school and some of the early years of high school, but eventually really just stopped caring about it, stopped playing the sports games, and like I said, I pretty much abandoned the NBA games back in 2K16. So I fired this game up on my PS5, and it just felt so much different than the other games, and I honestly didn't really care for it. So pretty much the first day of having it installed, I pretty much went and uninstalled. So at this point, I'm just going to keep this on my shelf. I know it's not really going to gain any value because these games never do, but for whatever reason, if it does collect value in the future, hey, at least I'll have a copy of it. So, yeah, played NBA games in middle school, early days of high school, and honestly, haven't played it since 2K16, so pretty interesting to see how the game has evolved. I didn't get 2K22. Maybe I'll get that when it's cheap enough, but if anything, I'll probably be waiting for 23, and if it has any good reviews, I'll probably end up just buying it whenever it goes on sale during the holiday season, because it always drops really low in price in that regard. So, anyway, let's get to the next game. So next up, we got another PS5 game, and that happens to be a sealed copy of GTA 5. So, obviously, this game has released on way too many platforms at this point, being Xbox 360, PS3, PC, Xbox One, PS4, PS5, and Series X. So, this game has launched way too many times on way too many platforms, but I've always been a fan of this game, so I've always wanted to kind of just get the full collection of the games and beat it on all platforms. I'm actually pretty close to beating it on PS5. I've done it on every other platform before the PS5 and Series X, because I first played it on 360, and then I played it on PS4, and then PC, and then Xbox One, and eventually I got my PS3 and then beat the game on that as well. So I'm currently working towards beating it on PS5, then I'm going to do it on Series X and Series S. So I actually already have this game digitally on all of the newer consoles, but I figured since I wanted to just get the physical copy of the game that I would keep it sealed in the box. What ended up happening was the game dropped to $20. I think it still is only $20 now. So I went to GameStop on one of my days off and decided, hey, I want to get the Series X copy of the game sealed in the box. For some reason, that price didn't go down to $19.99 like the PS5 version did, so I figured, screw it, I'll get the PS5 version first, and then when the Series X version drops down in price, I'll get it for that much as well, and just add that to the collection and keep it sealed in the box since I have the game digitally. So I've played this game way too many times. I think at this point, if the game releases again, I'm probably not going to buy it unless they actually do some genuine change, because to be completely honest with you, I really don't feel like I'm playing anything different on the PS5 version of the game compared to any of the other versions I've played. Even comparing that to the PS3 version, there's really not much added. I know there's probably going to be a lot of online editions that might be next-gen exclusive, but we don't really know that for a fact at the moment. And at the moment, when it comes to the story mode, nothing really major was added in terms of anything that I've noticed. Obviously, the graphics are stepped up a decent bit, but then again, I played this game on PC for a decent amount of time, so I really don't notice a difference between that, because I'm pretty sure the settings I was playing on PC were higher than the ones that are on the console right now, despite the PS5 being more powerful than my PC, because I only had the 1070 at the time in the PC I was using. But another tangent aside, let's look at more games that I got on this list. So just like GTA 5, I have also bought this game way too many times. SpongeBob Battle for Bikini Bottom on the original Xbox. So I got Rehydrated a million times. I got it on PC, I got it on iOS, I got it on Android, I got it on the Switch, and it was free on PlayStation Plus on the PS4/PS5, so that was 5 times that I got it, and this is now the 6th time that I've decided to play through this game. So I have never actually played through the original version of the game, at least on original hardware. I played through some of it on the Dolphin emulator, on the which is the GameCube emulator, but I wanted to get something for the original hardware. I wasn't actually hunting for this game, but what ended up happening was I was on Mercari one day. I still go on there just to see what kind of deals I get. I don't buy nearly as much retro games as I had before. Every time I just see a really nice deal, I'll jump on it, but I saw this one for 20 bucks. I figured, might as well go for it. I love the SpongeBob games, and I know this will definitely take some time for me to complete since I don't have as much time to sit down and play games as of recently. So I figured it'd be a good time just to at least finally get the original copy of the game in my collection since I like Rehydrated so much. From what I've heard, a lot of people actually prefer this version to Rehydrated in terms of how some of the visuals look and even how some of the boss fights are. I mean, I know they play the same, but I know specifically that one Sandy robot fight looks a lot cooler on this version, so I am going to jump on this game eventually as soon as I have enough time to sit down and play, because I've been piled with college work on top of going to work all the time, so I haven't had as much time to sit down and play, but definitely going to probably play this one out of all the other ones I've gotten, so yeah, pretty cool game. I've played it way too many times now. I'm actually almost done with it on PS5 as well, so once I'm done with that, I'll jump right on the original Xbox version and play it how it was supposed to be played. So the last 4 games that I'm going to showcase in this video are games that I got within the same day, and they are all going to be Wii U games. What happened was, I was at GameStop, and basically we had just taken out a ton of trade hold from the back. We do that every morning. Usually we hold the systems and games for 28 days after someone trades them in, and once that 28 days is up, we're able to sell them. So basically, just a ton of Wii U games came out of trade hold, and I decided that I wanted some of them because a lot of them were cheap enough, and I wanted to expand my Wii U collection for a decent amount of time. I believe last year I was only at like maybe 5 or 6 Wii U games, and I've gotten above the 20s in that collection, so I'm very happy with where I'm at right now. I would love to keep collecting for the system more, especially because I think that system especially will hold a lot of value considering it basically failed everywhere in the world. So without further ado, the first game I got on that was Splatoon. So believe it or not, I never played a Splatoon game, not even the second one on the Switch. So I've heard a lot of good things about this game. I know Splatoon 3 is coming out later this year, and a lot of people are excited for that. I've never played a Splatoon game. I always thought that it was an interesting concept and something I would eventually want to get, but I never actually went and bought the game, considering it's very multiplayer-oriented, and I don't really have a lot of friends that play online on the Switch, let alone a lot of friends that play Nintendo nowadays, but hey, I figured I'd get the game anyway because it was cheap enough. I wanted to add it to the Wii U collection, and I'm probably going to get Splatoon 3 somewhere down the line as well, so figured I'd give myself an entry into the Splatoon franchise by getting the first one on Wii U. So next up on this list, I have a game that I've actually never really looked into, and that was Pac-Man and the Ghostly Adventures 2, or Pac-Man 2 and the Ghostly Adventures. I really don't know what the title of it is, but regardless, I don't really know anything about the modern Pac-Man games. I've played some of the older ones, like obviously the originals, and then I've also played like some of the newer ones on the original PlayStation, but other than that, I haven't actually played anything past the 90s, so I'm actually interested to see how a game like this would play. I don't know anything like the gameplay, what the gameplay style would be like, but my guess is this is either going to be a 2D platformer, or it's going to be something like just like a 3D kind of, not open worldish kind of game, but one of those adventure games you would see in the 90s on the N64 or PlayStation. So not really sure what to expect of this game yet. I could be completely off, but regardless, it does look like it's going to be interesting, and really it's just another Wii U game to add to my collection. So another example of a game where I played the classic games but none of the modernized ones, Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze. I think the most modern Donkey Kong game I've actually ever played was a Donkey Kong 3 on the Super Nintendo. I hadn't played anything after that, including any of the GameCube games such as like Donkey Konga, which you would think I'd be into because I'm into rhythm games, but I never actually bought that game. I want to eventually get the Donkey Kong bongos and play that game because I've seen people use the Donkey Kong bongos on Guitar Hero, so I kind of want to try that. Plus, playing the game on the GameCube, of course. But regardless, this is the newest Donkey Kong game that I now have in my collection, and that's the last one dates all the way back to the 90s, which is actually pretty funny. So I don't know how any of the newer Donkey Kong Country games are perceived. I don't know if people like them or they didn't like them, but all I know is I really loved Donkey Kong Country 1, 2, and 3, so I'm definitely excited to jump into this one, especially because it's on a console that I really feel like I need to be playing more of. So yeah, that's that one. Last game on my list is Captain Toad Treasure Tracker. Okay, so obviously this is basically just an added game on top of a game mode that was in Super Mario 3D World. I don't exactly know why they decided to make a standalone game with this, adding to just whatever they had in 3D World, but a lot of people, I guess, were just into that mode, and Nintendo decided, hey, might as well make a standalone game that has that rather than just have it be a kind of mini level in 3D World. So it definitely looked like something I wanted to try. I actually liked the Captain Toad levels in the 3D World game, and I think I'm going to like this one as well, considering I liked it in the regular mode as a standalone. So yeah, that is everything that I got in this haul, guys. So just to recap, I got Pokemon Diamond and Platinum, Madden NFL 94 on the Genesis, Captain Toad Treasure Tracker, Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze, Pac-Man and the Ghostly Adventures 2, Splatoon, SpongeBob Battle for Bikini Bottom, Grand Theft Auto 5 in the Seal on PS5, and NBA 2K21 on PS5. So like I said, that is everything. I'm trying not to buy as much games as I did, during the last year, or even, especially when the pandemic first started, just because I am starting up with college. So you're going to be seeing a lot less of these videos over the next 3 months, and I'm almost debating quitting collecting entirely for the time being and just kind of focusing on school and saving my money for an apartment and all that stuff. But if I am going to be doing any kind of collecting, it's more than likely going to be for either the next-gen consoles, considering I still play those pretty frequently and they're coming with me, or simply just opening those boxes of video games monthly. I'm not sure if I'm going to keep that subscription through college when I move out, but for now it's staying. I haven't made the final decision on that. So that's kind of my update on that, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video. That's pretty much everything I have to say. Haven't had as much time to record anything, so honestly most of these videos probably aren't going to come out for like 2 weeks each. Not really sure. I'm very unpredictable. Sometimes I'm motivated, sometimes I'm not. So anyway, guys, like I said, thank you all for watching this video. Thank you for all the support over the past few years. I will see you all in the next one.